Six-way debate on the Newshour tonight. On the one side, Anand Yagnik, advocate Ami Yagnik of the Congress, Gagan Sethi, chairperson of Jan Vikas and Centre for Social Justice, and R.B. Sri Kumar, former DGP of Gujarat, are all of the view that the Vanzara letter, the sting operation, all of these directly or indirectly affect and impact Narendra Modi, his profile, and will affect him politically and should be taken seriously. On the other side, Meenakshi Lekhi from Delhi and Jai Narayan Vyas are defending Modi on the debate tonight. Now, I want to begin by asking the Congress leader, Ami Yagnik. Ms. Yagnik, it seems that you have suddenly developed a great deal of faith in an encounter cop called Vanzara. Till recently, you called him a conspirator, you called him a killer, you said that people like him were working hand in glove with Modi so that Modi becomes a hero in the minds of people. And I'm quite surprised, Ms. Ami Yagnik. I'm quite surprised at the way you changed your line the moment Vanzara started taking on Narendra Modi today. How opportunistic is that, Ami Yagnik? How opportunistic will you become before a general election?
There is no question of being opportunistic, and I think we do not have to say anything in the matter, because a cop who has done all the work at the behest of his political bosses is writing to them a very long letter after languishing in jail for 6 years that you have not looked at me.
How do you know this letter is not a bunch of lies?
I have obeyed all your commands.
How do you know this letter is not a... No, how do you know this letter is not a bunch of lies? How do you know this letter, A, is not a bunch of lies, B, has not been extracted under duress, under pressure? How do you know it's not being used for political purposes? That is not what
the letter's content look like for the television channels that have been showing the letter today.
Do you think the person is going to confess?
That letter speaks very clearly that my gods have betrayed me, and this particular
how do you believe him?
Also a prime accused.
But how do you believe him?
You had a lawyer for him, big lawyer.
No, how do you believe him? He can say anything to get away. Suppose the Congress party is using him, then suppose you have put pressure directly or indirectly.
Letter by attributing all these things is not proper.
I'm not attributing.
Call the Congress person on your panel today, because this is a letter by one accused talking to another accused that you have let me alone in the jails, and you have hired a very big lawyer for the prime accused who seems to be enjoying bail, and you have not looked at all these 32 police officers who are in jail for so many cases.
Now, how come you are sympathetic to him?
Here in the picture?
No, how come you are sympathetic? On July 2nd, 2013, on July 2nd, 2013, Digvijay Singh says, no, you are unnecessarily getting provoked. On July 2nd, 2013, Digvijay Singh says the whole idea of the Gujarat police with the then joint director of the IB working together was only to raise the profile of Narendra Modi so that Narendra Modi becomes a hero in the minds of all those who believe that the acts of terror are being done only by Muslims. This is what you say about the Gujarat police.
Why don't you look at the incidents that have happened post 2002?
But why don't you look at what Digvijay Singh said?
Why don't you look at all the incidents and let the trials begin, let the trials end? We are just at halfway.
You had an emergency.
Every time the multiplicity of litigation, we come to some conclusions that all this is creating a profile. Let the world see, let the nation see what the accused of a fake has to say for the people who has given orders.
I'll get in Meenakshi Lekhi. Meenakshi Lekhi. And Jai Narayan Vyas.
Yes.
Okay, Jai Narayan Vyas is smiling. Meenakshi Lekhi was reading something. I don't know whether it is that letter to the additional chief secretary on the screen right now. This is the explosive letter of Mr. Vanzara.
I would want you to go to page 5, please. If you can go to the page 5, where he's describing that we did not allow Gujarat to become Kashmir. There was jihadi terrorism, etc., etc. Those two paragraphs, if you can focus on them.
No, why should I focus on what you want me to focus on?
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
I want you to go to page 7.
Ms. Yagnik's.
I want you to go to page 7.
I'll tell you why. I'll go to page 7 also, but I am saying this only to put Ms. Yagnik's argument in place, because they are saying all this was being done by Narendra Modi and so on and so forth, whereas the gentleman in his own letter is basically describing what was the situation between 2002 and 2006. And in that situation, he's suggesting that there were jihadi terrorist attacks in this entire state, and there was an attempt to radicalize Gujarat on the lines of Jammu and Kashmir, in which he, along with several other police officers, were playing part of their assigned duty. Now, you don't want to pick this up, but you want to pick up that Ram Jethmalani was not engaged for him. Now, let me put this in perspective. The rule of law in the country is that bail is the rule and jail is not the rule.
No, why don't you go to page 7 now? Meenakshi Lekhi, may I accuse you? May I please accuse you of selectively quoting page 5, and may I also please accuse you of not looking at page 7.
I'll come to page 7.
Yes, thank you.
Arnab, if you know me well enough, you know very well that I am not somebody who will shirk from the arguments. At the same time, I want arguments in sequence. Now, let me first address Ms. Yagnik's first argument. The first argument is all this was fake, nothing was happening in Gujarat. Now that is contained by this letter. And why I'm giving you the background of bail being the rule and not jail, especially in case of Gujarat, where 8 encounter cases happen in the state of Gujarat during this period, 32 on the whole, and 8 cases of fake encounter, whereas 213 such cases have happened in UP and several other states. And many other states, Manipur 64.
No. You are doing something. You are generalizing it again, Meenakshi Lekhi. You are now going to talk about other states, etc., etc. Let's talk about Vanzara's letter. Let's talk about Vanzara's letter.
In India, rule of law in India cannot be different for people coming from Gujarat.
No. That's not what you are saying. What you are saying is not rule of law. What you are saying is the misrule of law. What you are saying is that
that's what this letter
shows.
You
are saying you are using the encounters theory to actually argue, and allow me to complete, please, Meenakshi Lekhi. You are saying if there is a misrule of law in one part of India, let there be a misrule of law in another part of India, and let there be a relative misuse of the law in all parts of India. My question, I now invite your attention to page number 7.
Rule of law.
Page number 7, you said you would come to page number 7. Page number 7, Meenakshi Lekhi, so that you and I are on the same page.
Page 7.
So that you and I are on the same page.
Yes, please read page 7, because I'm not able to get this thing. If you can read, I'll be happy. If you want a specific line or something on which you want my attention, I'll be happy to give you that.
Meenakshi Lekhi, if you just go a little further down this letter, which we both have in our hands, you would see that particular part.
This is going on moving. I'm not able to stabilize it.
No, you would have that part of the letter where it is very clearly said.
Yeah.
Where it is very clearly said that the guiding, the planning was all being done by the Gujarat government, and that people like Mr. Vanzara were merely foot soldiers.
The exact language. Will you please read the exact language rather than give your own interpretation and twist? This is not the language in the letter.
Read the language in the letter, Meenakshi Lekhi.
Yes. I'm not able to stabilize it, so I would request you to read.
Excellent. I was waiting for the opportunity. Here it is. Page 2, Meenakshi Lekhi.
Yeah.
With the passage of time, I realized, page 3, that this government was not only interested in protecting us, but it has also been clandestinely making all efforts to keep me and my officers in the jail so as to save its own skin from the CBI on the one hand and gain political benefits on the other. It is everybody's knowledge that this government has been reaping very rich political dividends since the last 12 years by keeping the glow of encounter cases alive in the sky of Gujarat while otherwise remaining in the low profile and indifferent to the fate of the jailed police officers. You see that particular part? Meenakshi Lekhi, my question to you is, is this a falling out between the Gujarat government and the police officers they once used?
No.
No?
This is
No?
a man who, yes, allow me to complete now. Allow me to answer you. You've asked a question. This is a man who is accused, and in his own opinion, he was only doing his job and he was doing his duty. And for doing his duty, he has been in jail for past 7 years.
So it was his duty to carry out fake encounters?
His bill is cracking up.
Was it his duty to carry out fake encounters?
I'm sorry. Who has proved it that this was fake encounter? Has the cases been decided in the court? And that is my point. The cases have not been decided in the court, and that is the whole problem which these cases are facing. And this is probably is the very thing which is going on. This is the inducement which probably the central government is giving them. That for 7 years you are in jail and we will not let you out. And we will not even allow completion of trial, and we will not allow anything. You have tried from top to bottom. No bail is given. And in any case, you see, that's where I'm saying the travesty of justice in this case. The man is in jail for past 7 years, plus almost 8 years. People like Suresh Kalmadi, people like Raja, people like
let's stay very focused. No, Meenakshi.
I mean, this is what the Congress government does, and this is exactly the point I'm trying to make.
Meenakshi Lekhi, he makes it very clear. And now let me get Jairam and just let me get RB Sri Kumar, let me get Gagan Sethi in. 1 second. Vanzara makes it absolutely clear that every action that he did has the sanction of Amit Shah. And he says, RB Sri Kumar, let me take your interpretation to it. He says, and I quote, the Gujarat CID / the Union CBI had arrested me and my officers in different encounter cases, holding us responsible of all the 4 encounters of Sohrabuddin, Tulsiram, Sadiq Jamal and Ishrat Jahan. Have to arrest the policy formulators. Policy formulators. As we being field officers have merely implemented the conscious policy of this government, which was guiding. See the letter, Meenakshi Lekhi, it's with you.
Yes.
Inspiring and monitoring our actions from very close quarters. What were these actions, Jainara and Vyas? Buying vegetables or killing innocents?
No, who is innocent?
Jainara and Vyas, what were these actions which were...
Because you are making... right to call them innocent.
1 second.
I am not accustomed to reply to the House which is not in order.
What was
asking me, Arnab?
He himself is calling them terrorists.
Okay, the question is to Jainara and Vyas. The question is to Jainara and Vyas. What was the government inspiring? Which Vanzara is talking about being inspired. What was the government inspiring?
Vanzara calls them terrorists.
Let's get everyone in.
He calls them jihadis.
First let your house be in order.
My house is in order. House is in order. Meenakshi Lekhi, let Jainara and Vyas take that.
First let your house be in order, Arnab.
Yeah, it is very much in order.
First let your house be in order.
Go ahead, house is in order. Please continue.
If it is not in order, I am not accustomed to shout.
Please continue.
Now, I have 2 points, Arnab, and I am arguing on the basics of jurisprudence. If somebody who is under police custody and gives any statement or any sort of agrees to anything, that is not taken as a valid proof in the court of law. If somebody is under any kind of a custody, that is the law. Now here a person is in the jail. He is exposed and he cannot be said to be away from the influence of the CBI, because CBI has done so in past in case of Singhal, where the default bail was permitted and CBI could perhaps get the things in return. There was a quid pro quo.
No, so
in this case,
so what's your strategy? No, what is your strategy to discredit Vanzara?
What is
your strategy?
This document is. Let me tell you, I am not discrediting. I am saying that this document must have been obtained under either coercion or some kind of force from the Congress Bureau of Investigation, which is continuously these days in a game, and Congress has found it convenient to bring 1 or 2 other such issue when they are facing a problem in the Parliament. Right now, the coal scandal being
No,
the
let's
hottest
not
issue,
move to
files,
coal. I
recent
have
files,
another debate
has
happening
become
on
now
coal. Let's
obsolete.
get RB Srikumar. The allegation is that this has been taken under duress.
Arnab,
No. I get your point.
This meets their menu, and therefore I am not willing to discuss the points raised in this letter. What is the guarantee that this letter is not penned under
How
coercion?
can you not be
or
willing to
under,
discuss the
enticing
points in the
somebody?
letter? The points in the letter are the controversy.
No, which court will- which-
RB Srikumar, the BJP, both the BJP representatives say indirectly that this is a last-ditch attempt by a cornered man to deliberately embarrass the state government. They raise questions on whether you can really rely on the word of a discredited officer, that also somebody who is in the custody of the police. RB Srikumar, your response to both the BJP leaders. Then we'll open up.
No, I am questioning the validity of this document. Don't misinterpret it in your own
I
way.
hope you are not doubting the authenticity of the document, sir.
It's an extrajudicial confession.
Mr. Srikumar is rebutting you.
This is a violent document. It is a violent document and it has to be treated as a extrajudicial confession, and the investigating officer should get his statement recorded before a magistrate under section 164 CRPC. And this has proved that the encounters are planned murders, and Vanzara was a part of the mafia. And I, as an additional DGP intelligence from April to September 2002, I was the only person who reported about the deviant ways of Mr. Vanzara. I reported the government that he is getting weapons from his friends, VHP friends, manufactured and dumping it on Muslim youth and arresting them. And especially he had done it on the Rath Yatra day in July 2002. And what happened was... And
no, why are you believing Vanzara today? I have a simple question for you, RB Srikumar. And I put that question to Gagan Sethi, who is sitting next to you as well. You tell me today, why should we believe? Why should we just answer a simple question? Why should we believe the main accused in encounter killings? Just tell me today, just because he's taking on Modi, Mr. Gagan Sethi, he becomes useful to you. He's fodder for you. He's ammunition for you today.
No Modi or...
Why don't you go a little deeper?
Modi or no Modi, I think the lesson I'm learning from this is that finally the police force in India will take a lesson from this, that they are not to follow the government policies and follow them, but follow the rule of law and follow the constitution, which is their first loyalty. This loyalty business has to go. We cannot have people loyal to individuals and parties in administration, and therefore this game of impunity and immunity is finally
No, why do you believe Vanzara? Why do you believe Vanzara?
I am not, whether he is saying the right thing or the wrong thing. The debate itself shows that the game is that of impunity and immunity. And therefore, when immunity is not given, the impunity issues start coming up. And I think this is where we say that the rule of law has broken down. Whether it is Gujarat, whereas other states, but in Gujarat...
No, but none of you are answering my question. Why are you taking Vanzara at face value? No, one second. Why are you taking... Let me put that question to Anand Yagnik and then I'll throw open the house.
By the letter he wrote.
No, why? Why do you believe the letter he wrote?
I am taking Vanzara by the letter
why do you
he wrote.
Why do you believe the letter he wrote?
Speaking for myself as a lawyer, I would not take it from its own face value. Let this document be placed for the consideration of the court. Let there be a trial, and under the Code of Criminal Procedure, if ultimately the court, based on additional believable and cogent evidence, comes to conclusion that in addition to Mr. Vanzara, there is an involvement of political executive, particularly Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah in particular, then have them prosecuted. Please take this, please consider this document in its totality and do not take it from its face value, but start a fresh investigation on the basis of this and find out as to whether political bosses are involved in the larger conspiracy or not.
What fresh investigation?
Or whether the policemen are only involved in the fake encounter and the fake investigation.
No, what fresh investigation? What fresh investigation are you looking at?
See, you said, why should this document be taken
at
from its face value? I say, don't order an investigation on the basis of this document and find out as to whether political bosses are involved in this episode of encounter killings or not. Because we do not have a statement of Mr. Vanzara before a magistrate or before an authority by which this statement will gain a validity and there will be a stamp of bona fide on the same. Therefore,
how do I not know? How is this? How is this? No, isn't this kite flying? No, isn't this kite flying? You're a lawyer, sir, Anand Yagnik. You're a lawyer. Isn't this kite flying to a large extent? Why are you not asking some fundamental questions? I find it strange that none of you are asking about some of the allegations that Vanzara have made. And Mr. Srikumar, Gagan Sethi and Anand Yagnik and Ami Yagnik, all of you are so excited. So excited, Ami Yagnik, all of you are so excited that here is a cop who has gone and named Amit Shah and indirectly spoken about Narendra Modi, that you have completely forgotten, Ami Yagnik, particularly you have forgotten some of the allegations that Vanzara has hurled. He seems to suggest, for example, Ami Yagnik, that the trial was shifted out of Gujarat to Mumbai at the behest of Amit Shah and that he managed to get the cases of Sohrabuddin and Prajapati combined. Let us not forget that these decisions were made by the Supreme Court of India. Is it not far-fetched to be even suggesting that Amit Shah manipulated the highest court in the country? Shouldn't you be taking Vanzara's claims with a pinch of salt? Why are you so excited, Ami Yagnik, today that Vanzara has come up, that you are not differentiating between facts? And Ami Yagnik, what is going on in the Congress party here today? This morning at 10 o'clock, Ami Yagnik, tell me this. Your party leader Shakti Singh Goyal and another party leader along with Ajay Makan had a press conference over a sting operation in which you feel in the Tulsi Prajapati case also you raised the question mark on Amit Shah. Have you forgotten? Ami Yagnik, my question is to the Congress. Answer me tonight. Have you forgotten that your party discredited the cash forward sting? You were against the cash forward sting in 2011. Why are you calling a press conference in favor of a sting whose authenticity is yet to be established, whose facts are yet to be established? You are simply doing everything today directly for direct political gain, right or wrong. Anything that you can use against Modi today, whether it is a sting that has emerged 9 months later, whose authenticity you don't know about and you don't vouch for, or whether it is the allegations of a policeman who you yourself have discredited in the past. You are taking it with folded hands and so grateful for it and responding to it so quickly. Tell me, Ami Yagnik, what is the bigger political game?
Yes.
What is it? Tell me.
First let's
tell
go
me
to
the bigger
CD.
political game.
Yes, first let's go to the CD.
No, let's go to the politics
Forget
of it.
what is going
let's
on
go
in
to
the Congress.
politics.
That is not a question to be answered here.
Yeah.
The CD is by a journalist who thought that the victim's mother, Narmada Ben, has been made to sign blank papers, blank wakilatnamas, and to put a lawyer that would suit some political bosses, and certain MPs have been named of the BJP. And so why should a victim's mother who is fighting for justice be taken for a ride, and why should those papers be misused or abused? The CD is on that by a journalist. Why should we not see that the journalist is not telling the truth?
Have you shot the CD?
So let it be a matter of
no, have you shot the CD?
Let the CD,
have you shot the CD?
Be examined.
Have you shot the CD? Have you shot the CD?
The CD will be verified.
No, who shot the CD?
Let it be brought to the in front of the people.
Okay, response
let
from
be.
Where's the CD come from? The CD was shot in November 2002.
Why should the journalist not be believed?
Oh, so
Why should the journalist not be believed?
Wonderful. It's a good. It's only.
He's taking up the cause of a victim's mother who has died in a fake encounter.
Are you?
That is the first part of the CD.
Meenakshi Lekhi, I want you to respond to. I'm just placing before you that the sting operation that you had a press conference on today was shot in November 2012. Isn't it a little mysterious? Isn't it commonsensical to ask Ami Yagnik why has it taken 10 months for it to be made public? You are giving the sting operation credence by calling a press conference and showing clips from it. Why are you doing that? Is it because 7 days from now the RSS and BJP will meet and Narendra Modi's name could come up as the Prime Ministerial candidate? Tell me.
No, it was shot on their behest.
It was shot on their behest. Okay, Meenakshi Lekhi says your party organized the sting. She's making a serious charge. here on the Newshour tonight. Meenakshi
No,
Lekhi, do you have any
that's
proof
She
to back
should
that?
not make any
Yeah.
allegations.
She's making the
She should not
allegation.
make. She is used
She's
to
making the allegation.
making-
She should not do. She should question the.
I am making two allegations. I'm making two allegations and I'm verifying it with the facts, with the follow-up of facts. First thing is this gentleman Pushp Kumar Sharma, there are 4 cases as admitted by Delhi police pending against him in fake sting operations, and that is a Delhi police press release. Now this man against whom the cases are pending, he suppresses this material, files a PIL which has still not come up for hearing in the court but goes to the press, and Congress party very correctly uses it for a press conference material. The gentleman sitting next happens to be Gohil, against whom SIT findings are there on record that he along with Arjun Modwadia, Sajeev Bhatt, Teesta Seetalwad and Mihir Desai were involved in faking evidence and filing false affidavits. In the series of the Wakalatnama, a Wakalatnama at best has been obtained, that too by this journalist, not by anybody else, and this journalist brings that Wakalatnama which has never been used, and 1 year has gone past because this is June 2012. And we are in
That is
August,
exactly what he is
2013.
asking. That find out where the Wakalatnamas have been used.
That is my point.
how they
ma'am.
have
That
been
is my
used.
point. Now, will you
That
please
is the question.
allow
That
me
is the
if they
moot
have been-
question.
No, that is not the question. You are.
And don't
misleading
bring
people.
don't
No
bring any
Wakalatnama
frivolous
has been
matters
used in
here
any
unnecessarily.
court. You
What
bring
is
the
frivolous?
fact. Without a fact, you have a press conference showing
How can you
this was
say
your
that?
design.
Let that be
On
proved.
the same day, when the falsity is caught, you bring up this issue of a resignation letter. Now, this resignation letter by a cop who has been in jail, has not got bail for past 7 years, rightly or wrongly. So this, at best, is an extricated piece, and Anand Yagnik's statement, Mr. Yagnik, what he said just now, that veracity is not known, 164 statement needs to be recorded, the entire process needs to be gone in, again exposes the Congress game plan. This is exactly what the Congress wants. For past 10 years, they have proved nothing against Mr. Modi in encounter cases or otherwise.
Or no,
this is
allow me to
another
say
sequel
something.
which
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to start, and it is part of this sequel that this
Allow me
particular
to-
letter has come.
Well, yes, I think.
Say what I meant to say.
Yeah, go ahead. No, Mr. Anand Yagnik. You see, we have only picked up two.
Yes.
We have
See, basically,
This is a Congress
this is what I
strategy.
have to say.
we have
Just a minute.
We have
When
we
Mr.
have picked-
Vanzara
You have to see the plight of Mr. Vanzara, Miss Lekhi. He is frustrated. You have not stood by him.
Absolutely
He is
right,
telling
ma'am.
that please
So you
now
are
take my
using that
resignation.
You are using
We are not
that
using.
line,
I am just
isn't it?
looking at the contents of the
course,
letter.
Of course.
We are not using it.
Of course,
You
you're-
tell him
you're
why did you
using-
ask
you
your
are
cop.
No, you are not-
ask your
you are
cop
not
why he
looking
wrote
at the
this letter.
content. You are. Yeah, because the poor man has
You
been
asked
in
the
jail
cop
for
why he wrote the
7 years
letter.
without a bail and without trial being completed. Every time
That is
there
what he is
another
telling.
case. In
You
fact,
give
let
Ram
me tell you
Jethmalani to
writing.
me. He says give Ram Jethmalani to me.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And not to only Amit Shah.
Okay, if you're saying this, at best it only
That is
proves
what he has written in the
that
letter.
Gujarat as a government,
No, he has written in the
Gujarat
letter.
as a government has distanced itself from any such happening and has left it to the courts to decide and take up matter without favor. Whatever is the law.
No, but why should
law
I not
shall
believe?
prevail.
No, why
And
should
I'm
I not
quoting the
believe?
law
Why
that
should I
law
not
has
believe?
not
No, what
prevailed.
happens is
Why has the trial not been
this
completed?
Meenakshi
But
Lekhi
you
one.
can't
No, Meenakshi
but you
Lekhi, 1
can't
minute. You see,
conveniently
no,
distance
1 minute,
from
1 minute. Let me come in
where
between.
you have used these people.
You see,
Come on.
you-
He was not. Why will I use anyone? He was doing his duty.
No, you are
Hasn't he
don't
written
make
that?
convenient statements. Do not make
I am
convenient
not making
statements and put it on the
convenient
Congress,
statements.
please.
You are making convenient statements.
Of course you are making.
This is the Congress
Of course you are
Justice
making.
Department. And I'll tell you
No,
how.
no.
Monday
Or
evening,
no, allow
Sonia Gandhi
non-political
flies out.
persons to have
Tuesday
something.
evening goes. Wednesday
Please.
starts.
Please.
Is it
Leave
not
everyone out.
this
Stick
is
to the letter. Stick to the letter, please.
From Mr.
Allow-
Salim to
Stick to the
IGP
letter.
to whatever,
Non-political persons to have the say as far
No,
as the
one second.
subject matter of
It's a
this
very
debate is
political
concerned.
subject. 1 minute.
Or
Anand
no?
Yagnik, Anand Yagnik, let us not be under any illusions that this is some semi-technical legal subject.
I don't say,
No,
I don't say that this is not a political subject. What I'm trying to request you is that these political personalities are taking too much time. Allow us to have our say.
No, certainly.
As far as the statement of Mr. Lekhi trying to explain my statement is concerned, what I want to say is that there is a letter written by a person who is behind the bar. There is a letter written by an IPS officer who is charge sheeted after the thorough investigation, particularly after the government of Gujarat failed. Now, after a couple of years, he writes a letter involving political bosses, and the question is whether we should consider the content of the letter as genuine or not. Allow this letter to undergo the rigor of law. Allow this letter to be established in the trial before the court of law.
I have understood your point, sir. I have understood your point. No, I have understood your point. But your point is neither here nor there, sir. I am sorry to be very direct with you. You are saying allow it to be established, allow it to be there. Sir, this is a political subject. Please understand the context in which this is happening. Let us not live in a vacuum, Mr. Anand Yagnik. Vanzara is a person who is directly implicating Modi's right-hand man. He is saying that I have been used for fake encounters. He is saying that guiding me was Amit Shah, and Amit Shah was, is being protected by Narendra Modi. So it's a very straightforward charge. Let us not assume, Mr. Yagnik, this is non-political, or let us not assume that there is no controversy over it. We are discussing it because it is political and because it is a controversy. And I want to know today why Jainara and Vyas, who on every single occasion is willing to discuss details, for some strange reason today, does not want to be drawn into the contents. Don't stop me. You don't want to be drawn into the contents of what Vanzara is saying. Either I am to assume, Mr. Jainara and Vyas, that you are on the back foot because of what Vanzara is saying. Or I am to assume that you are unprepared.
No, I am not at all on the back foot.
Or I am to assume.
I am not.
Or I am to assume that the counter arguments, you are not prepared for the counter arguments on the other side.
I may not be as prepared as you are, but I am not on the back foot, let me tell you. But let me also give you a feedback, Arnab, that your debates are becoming so noisy that it is very difficult for any sensible person to make an argument. You can't do anything unobstructed. This is what precisely I have been saying
Mr. Jainara and Vyas. Mr. Jainara and Vyas, I am not Mr. Vyas, 1 minute.
Basic tenets of
Mr. Vyas. No, I must 1 minute, Mr. Vyas, 1 minute. Let me make one point. Let me make one point to you.
Finish my argument.
No, let me make one point. Your argument has been that I will not discuss the details of the letter.
You have all the liberty.
No, your argument is I will not discuss the details of the letter.
You can. No, I am not saying details of the letter. I am questioning the very basics, and that is going to be a point which will have to be decided by the law. You are saying political. What political? Politics is not about the law. The law ultimately prevails over, and you must be willing to respect the law of the land. And the law of the land says that if you are in a police custody, if you are under any kind of a confinement, and if you give any statement other than before the magistrate, authenticating it properly, your statement cannot be used as valid. That is the issue. And again, let me tell you, this is more an administrative issue. This is more an administrative issue.
I am aware.
Yes.
I am aware. Now allow me. I am aware today. And I have known you for a long time. I know you have come on many of my programs. I know that you are an extremely gifted lawyer. And I am aware that whenever you choose to, then you use the classic block and tackle strategy. And your strategy is at 3 levels. First, you will dispute the evidence at hand. Second, you will make an observation about the nature of the discussion rather than the contents of the discussion. Your attempt is, like a good lawyer, to throw the ball into the other court. So let me throw the ball straight back in your court, and I have one question to you, sir. Please answer my question, and it will not be noisy at all if you answer the debate. Answer this, and then I want you to answer Gagan Sethi and R.B. Srikumar, who will take you on. Here you are, sir, refusing to get drawn into the discussions. Let me tell you what is being said by Vanzara. He says, the Gujarat CID have arrested me and my officers in different encounter cases, holding us to be responsible for the fake encounters. If that is true, then the CBI investigating officers of all these cases might have to arrest the policy formulators, as we were merely field officers guided by the conscious policy of the government which was inspiring and monitoring our actions. Do you believe, in other words, he is saying that Amit Shah organized the fake encounters? Do you think, in other words, he is saying? Now, do you think, in other words, he is saying that Amit Shah was guiding the fake encounters? Yes or no? I just want to know how you understand this English. Yes or no?
I will not say yes or no.
Oh, yeah, they won't say
This letter is laden with internal.
He cannot.
You are drawn me into the controversy to accept the contents of the letter. Now I am giving you the reason.
He goes on.
Arnab, I am giving you the reason.
This line of
that,
deniability.
you know, if you agree, if you agree, Arnab, if you agree, now this is what I was saying. What I was saying wrong, that you are not able to keep the house in order. I am telling you that do you agree with the same letter's contention which says that Amit Shah managed the apex court of this country? If you say on this television, right now the nation wants to know whether Mr. Arnab Goswami endorses this statement because it is mentioned by Mr. Vanzara. I am willing to endorse the other part.
Well, I think you just missed out what I said 5 minutes back, when in fact in one of my questions to the panelists I said that part is hard to believe, but that does not mean that the entire letter should be taken at face value. That's a ridiculous argument, Mr. Jainarayan Vyas. You are cribbing about one part of the letter. No. So you are cribbing about one part of the letter. Gagan Sethi. Gagan Sethi. What is this issue? What is this issue? The issue, Gagan Sethi, is about the alleged role of the political executive in fake encounter killings. I thought that was the issue. Gagan Sethi. Yes, please.
I challenge you, take 20,000 people, common people's poll about what they think of Vanzara, and they will tell you that he was the blue-eyed boy of the administration. Out of the 20,000, you will get 19,999 who will tell you that.
What does that prove?
That itself
what does that prove?
Clearly signifies that you take an opinion poll that who is Vanzara, and they will say he's the blue-eyed boy. And if a blue-eyed boy is equal to those who follow policies, then you can put 2 and 2 together and say, yes, the whole idea of encounters, bringing out this kind of scenario that the state is full of terrorists, Muslims, I think it just shows the trend with which the whole political class was trying to manipulate and bring a sense of minority majority in this state. It's so sad, and I feel so sad. Citizen, these police people have forgotten.
We are debating legal issues, Mr. Gagan Sethi. We are debating legal issues, not minority majority.
1 second, Jainarayan Vyas.
This is basic legal issue.
No, 1 minute. You see, the issue is
you can shift from law to
Ami Agnik, 1 minute, one at a time. Otherwise, then Jainarayan Vyas, you will be the first person to say the house is not in order. 1 minute. The question is this. We draw in the panelists tonight to the specifics of the letter. However much Meenakshi Lekhi and Jainarayan Vyas don't want to get into the specifics of the letter, we will draw Meenakshi Lekhi and Jainarayan Vyas to the specifics of the letter. Meenakshi Lekhi, my question to you is this. 1 minute. My question to you is very specific. Now you see page 6 of the letter. The letter is in your hand and the letter is in my hand as well. I draw your attention so that we are literally on the same page. This seems to be a classic case of people who work together, who are now fallen apart, and the police officers are telling, this police officer is telling Amit Shah that, did you think that you would put me in lockup and you would get away with it? Did you think that after using me in the fake encounters, you could go happily and lead the UP's BJP campaign, push your political career and expect to have all of us in lockup? I invite your attention to page 6 and your interpretation of it. Meenakshi Lekhi, he says, and I quote, the logic is very simple. Government and police officers are sailing in the same boat and have to sink or swim together. Nobody should try to outsmart the other and try to swim at the cost of other, neither government or the police officers. I would like to state in the most unambiguous words that this government, through the dirty tactics of Shri Amit Bhai Shah, is unfortunately managing only for its own self so as to swim and continue to prosper in all directions, while ditching the police officers so as to sink and allow them to die an unnatural death by drowning. By adopting such a suicidal path, this government, I am sure, is doing nothing else but hastening and facilitating its own death by drowning. My question to you, Meenakshi Lekhi, is if you think that in certain situations fake encounters are allowed, if you think that there were jihadis and you had to eliminate them, if you think that whatever happened was happening in a certain internal security climate, as you were quoting right at the beginning of the news hour tonight, then if you think all that is correct, why are you ditching the people who did it for you? Why are you ditching the people who did it for you? Meenakshi Lekhi, answer that. Yeah.
I am making an accusation against you right now that don't use the word fake encounter because the case is still pending in the court, and fake encounter is not a word used anywhere.
Miss Meenakshi Lekhi, before you make that accusation, you may like to go through the entire world. The entire world is debating the fake encounters, and that weak attempt to intimidate me has been like water off a duck's back.
I will not allow you to intimidate anybody else. I will not allow you, especially me.
Meenakshi Lekhi, that's water off a duck's back. Please continue.
Judge, I am continuing. I am continuing.
That threat is water off a duck's back for me. Please continue.
Who's speaking? No. It is the waters off me also.
The charge sheet says that these are
my
fake
point is very simple.
You have to rely upon the investigative agency.
Who's speaking in between now?
But Meenakshi Lekhi, you didn't answer my question.
I am answering your question provided I go uninterrupted. My logic is very simple. The policy of the state is to pursue the terrorists, and the person concerning that is free to take its decision. Now, a particular encounter is fake or not is yet to be proven in the court of law.
So you wash your hands off what happened?
But the travesty of justice,
policy of the state is
that for past 7 years,
not to follow the terrorists. The policy of the state is to protect those police personnel who are involved in the fake encounters.
I am just telling you, the person whether is involved in a fake encounter or a true encounter is a question of fact. And that fact needs to be established in the court of law.
No, but look at what he's saying. Look at the moot point of what he's saying, Meenakshi Lekhi. Look at the moot point of what he's saying. You are not looking at what he's saying, Meenakshi Lekhi.
He is precisely saying that.
You are not.
I am looking at
you are not looking at the facts. You are not looking at the facts. You are not looking. You have personally. No, you have not. No, you have not. No, you have not, Meenakshi Lekhi. And you know why? You know, on this program and on several programs, our viewers will remember.
A particular encounter,
Meenakshi Lekhi,
a fake encounter,
Meenakshi
or a true
Lekhi, just
encounter,
understand one thing. Understand one thing.
Spokespersons are making encounters to be fake. If they are fake encounters, the person has to be punished, but that has to be determined by court, and the court is not determining that. And that is where the travesty is happening.
Miss Lekhi, a police officer is saying to the...
Please punish a person if is involved.
Now, Miss Lekhi, I will not...
But you can't keep a person in jail for 7 years.
Now, Miss Lekhi, I will not raise my voice. I have great respect for you, but I will ask you a question that is directly needs to be answered.
Mr. Vanzara has been kept behind the bar by Supreme Court.
One second, Mr. Yagnik, 1 second. You see,
exactly now
this is the issue. No, 1 second. This is the issue. Now, I remember, and I can assure you, Jainara and Vyas, all our Newshour viewers remember one thing. They remember that when we were discussing that Ishrat Jahan case, then the basic tenet of the BJP argument was that these were people who needed to be eliminated. And this was done in the interest of... 1 second.
No.
1 second. Meenakshi Lekhi, please. Your party always spoke about the threats. Don't ask me to remind you about the number of times in which the BJP said these people were internal security threats.
So somebody attacked.
So do you believe...
Somebody attacked. I have no right to self-defense.
So 1 minute.
What are you saying?
So Meenakshi Lekhi, 1 minute. Please don't. No, please don't. You'll have to let me complete.
Why will I not shoot?
You will have to let me complete now.
Private person has
now you will have to let me complete. You will have to let me ask the question, please. I am not, as I told you, I am not going to raise my voice, but I am going to. If you force me to, then I will. I don't want to. I want to ask the question in a straightforward manner. Yes, I am coming to you, Jainara and Vyas. This question is specially for you, Mr. Vyas. You see what he says here. Since I have now successfully drawn you into the discussion of what is being said in this letter. It is said here that this government in this regard has proved to be good for nothing and has miserably failed in protecting its loyal soldiers who fought against the cross-border terrorism at its behest. At its behest. In other words, all these encounters, fake or not, that Vanzara is accused of, he is saying were happening at the Gujarat government's behest. You are saying and Meenakshi Lekhi are saying that he was acting on his own.
What do you expect?
No, you and Meenakshi Lekhi are saying that Vanzara was a solo operator. No, you are saying Jainara and Vyas. Jainara and Vyas, you are saying he was a solo operator.
Arnab,
He was a lone ranger.
No.
Lone ranger, solo operator. On his own.
Let me tell you. Will you permit me to make my point?
Go ahead.
I just want to say that before wrong things go on record, I like to correct you on two things. Number one, never ever in any debate I have seen that said that anybody who is a terrorist can be eliminated. I have said the people had terrorist background and therefore the government should deal with them appropriately. So that is the first correction I like to make. No time this has been said. Number two, you are saying that this is the issue which you are debating about on the issue of law, and this case is political, and you are saying that the government, the police force, they virtually...
Jainara and Vyas, all that I am saying is this man is saying I did it, but whatever I have done is because I was told to do it.
God.
That's all that he is saying.
Oh.
There is nothing wrong.
There is nothing. What is not wrong?
Any government established by any government, Arnab,
so you accept.
Any government established by rule of law is supposed to take care of any kind of terrorism.
Excellent. So you agree with what
threat to their civilians.
So what Vanzara has said is believable in your view. So you believe what Vanzara says.
That's the duty cast.
No, so Mr. Vyas, you believe what Vanzara says. Therefore, you believe what Vanzara says. Why were you contradicting him in the first half?
That is the duty cast upon. That is the duty cast upon any government.
Exactly. So you agree with what Vanzara says.
You are eliminating the responsibility of the state. That is where the confusion is.
What is the problem, Arnab?
You are committing crime.
You see the issue is.
Arnab, what is the problem is you are selectively reading the sentences or paras as they suit you.
I am not. I have got the whole document. I challenge you to bring out any other part of the sentence which contradicts what I said. Page 6, which I proved you, challenge you to pull out any other part. Challenge you right now, Jainara and Vyas. Don't accuse me of selectively putting things out. I asked the tough questions to everyone. I asked the Congress party as well what faith they have in a sting operation which has no basis. I asked them that question. But you're not. At the end of the debate, you are agreeing.
Do you not agree with me that fighting the cross-border terrorism is not the duty of the state government? Do you not agree with me?
Now, my point is, here is a question. Only question here is.
What is the wrong saying in that letter?
Ami Yagnik is coming in. Meenakshi Lekhi, I'm coming back to you. My only contention.
If the police is not going to do their job, is center going to send the army here?
You see, Jainara.
You are not able to guard your borders. What are you talking?
Can I get a word in? All that I'm saying is today
the letter is the issue. The contents of the letter are the issue.
One second. I'm letting Ami Yagnik in, but before that, Meenakshi, I'm coming back to you. All the entire question is now boiling down to one thing. What is the line of denial or deniability that can be built between Vanzara and Amit Shah? Now, I'm sure the BJP will argue that Vanzara was operating on his own, whereas the Congress will allege that Vanzara was acting on the instructions of Amit Shah. And that's what this is going to boil down to. Ami Yagnik, quickly to you. 2 minutes on the debate. Ami Yagnik.
Arnav, the letter is self-explanatory. It is written in anguish that you have used us, and there are almost 32 police officers in jail, and now you have left us to fend for ourselves. We followed your policy, so-called policy, and we did everything. We obeyed your commands, but now you do not want to protect us. And now I am resigning in frustration. I will do what I have to do at the trial. So he has written an open letter. The contents are self-explanatory. They have to be taken in toto. And
Ami Yagnik, if that is the case, there are two sides, right? I just want to, there are two sides. Both sides, whatever they have done, deeds or misdeeds are together. Now they've fallen out and they are fighting. why are you backing one side and not backing the other? You are backing Vanzara today, very sympathetic, and why are you backing Vanzara and not Amit Shah? If there are two people, both of whom did something wrong together, why are you backing one and not the other?
From where did you,
tonight.
Yes?
Arnav,
Yes.
how did you find out, and how can you say that we are backing Vanzara?
Well, you've
we
just
are
been
just
backing him right
commenting
now.
on the letter that one
You've just been
accused is
backing him right
writing
now.
to the boss that I did all this at your behest, and there is even enough evidence. We may not go on the letter. What about the call records, the statements of other witnesses? We have to
Last
go
remark
when the
to
trial
Meenakshi
begins.
Lekhi,
So
wrapping
let
it
us
up,
stick to our
30-second
press
rebut.
letter today.
I wrap up with Meenakshi Lekhi's response. Meenakshi Lekhi.
You know, even when we are debating this, Yasin Bhatkal has admitted that he was targeting Narendra Modi during this period, and even the content of the letter, so-called letter, partly suggests that there was jihadization of the state of Gujarat and an attempt which they averted while following their duty. Now, duty cast upon every police force in this country is to protect the national borders and to have internal security. Now, in that process, day-to-day functioning and happenings, nobody is telling you to do one thing or the other, and everybody has a right to do what their duty requires them to. Now, calling an encounter to be a fake encounter...
If the Vanzara
without
writes
that
a
being
letter from
decided
jail,
is
you do not
incorrect.
believe it. But if Yasin Bhatkal writes a
And-
letter from police custody, then you believe the story. This is a double standard.
Very convenient.
If the story, if the letter of Vanzara is not to be believed because it has been written
Convenient.
and he is behind the bar, then the story of the Yasin Bhatkal during the investigation, during his interrogation also cannot be believed and relied upon in the discussion.
Getting exposed.
Is
Your
Amit Shah...
lies are getting exposed
Is-
by these statements.
Whose lies?
Because for the
The
simple
letter,
reason,
you stick to
your
the letter.
lies. Because a terrorist,
Madam,
no,
you stick
India
to the
is not
letter.
having any terrorist
They
attacks.
point fingers
There
at
has
your
been no
two
bomb
leaders.
blast. There was no Akshardham. There was no attempt on Ishrat Jahan was not an LET operator. There was no affidavit of the central government. Home Ministry was not involved. IB was not there. Prime
Is
Minister
Amit Shah...
You say that the policy of Indian government is to allow terrorism. Is that the
Is
policy?
Amit Shah...
What are you saying?
Amit Shah... No, this
The
is not...
policy
This
of
is...
every
This is...
state
This
is
is...
to protect the
This is
state
simply
from
about
terrorist
one issue.
activities.
No, this is simply about one issue.
And the policy of the state should be not to protect its
Okay,
police officers
now this
when they are
time
involved in
time
some
is up.
crime and they are charge sheeted.
What do you mean?
Time is up. I only want to ask
they
one
have been
question.
charge-sheeted?
Is
7 years the person has
is
been in
Mr.
jail?
Modi going to be able to take a distance between him and Mr. Amit Shah? If Mr. Amit Shah's role comes under question, will it affect Mr. Modi? And will Mr. Amit Shah be able to draw distance between himself and Mr. Vanzara? These are questions which will remain, and we'll follow both of them. On the other side, we have the second big debate tonight, and Arun Jaitley is coming in. He's not sparing the PM. We are talking to him on why he's become so aggressive on the Colgate controversy.